This is Support is Sexy, episode 34. Celebrate the small wins. Welcome to the Support is Sexy podcast. I'm your host, Elayne Fluker, entrepreneur, author, producer, and founder of Chic Rebellion Media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I talk to women entrepreneurs who share their journeys and the true stories of their wins and their lessons, and give you insight and inspiration to take your business and your life to the next level. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Support is Sexy. Thank you so much for being here. You just know it would not be the same without you. And when I say that, I truly mean it. I am sitting here in my office at 3:33 in the morning recording this podcast because I just finished working on a big project for me, which was building a new website by myself for the company Chic Rebellion. And Chic Rebellion is the parent company of the content that I produce for Support is Sexy podcast, also for chicrebellion.tv, which is an internet TV network featuring videos that tell the stories of women of color. So with Chic Rebellion Media, it's sort of relaunching it or rebranding it, reintroducing it. Allow me to reintroduce it. Chic Rebellion Media is the parent company for the podcast, as I mentioned, the website, and will also be an agency that works with other clients on different projects with content engaging and empowering women. So it is an agency that engages and empowers women through its content. So I'm telling you all of that because it's something that's very important to me. I actually stopped posting new content to chicrebellion.tv other than videos that were inspirational videos from me as a message to the audience. I stopped doing that, I would say late last year, and began doing these new videos and promised that I was going to do one every week, which I did up until I started working on the podcast, which is a new format of reaching out to everyone. But the reason that I stopped was because I felt like I was going down a path that was neither exciting nor the direction that I wanted the business to go in. And instead of going further and further in that hole, both from a direction standpoint and also financially, I decided to stop around the holidays and rethink things. And that's something that we as entrepreneurs, as women, cannot be afraid to do. Stop if you're able to, which most of the times we are able to. The biggest thing is giving ourselves permission. Stop, think about it, take a beat, rebrand it, recreate it, rethink it, give it some space, which I talked about on the podcast from last week. Give it some space and allow it to reintroduce itself to you first, and then you reintroduce it to the audience. So I'm up at 3:33 because I am excited that I just finished doing the website, and I'll be able to share that with you all soon. But also the reason I mentioned that I'm so glad to have you all here is because in this process, especially if you're a solopreneur, because if you're like me, you work with tons of contractors on different projects, but there are times when it's just you and your product. It's just you and your vision. It's just you and whatever you're trying to create. And that can get lonely, and that can get frustrating. That can get annoying sometimes, and you may feel like you're not making any progress. So what I wanted this podcast to be about, why I wanted to record it tonight, it's about remembering to celebrate the small wins. So for me tonight, or today at least, it was the small win of completing that site, which I've been working on just a few days. It's a very simple site, simple and elegant, but simple nonetheless, just to tell the story of what the company is, what services we offer. My thing, though, was I wanted to finish it before going to bed tonight. And that is what I did. I committed to that, and I wanted to do that. In the same way, I commit to doing a podcast 5 days a week. So the podcast that I had planned for today and tomorrow, I had to move back to next week because of some cancellation with interviews. Now, this happens. And of course, getting ahead is my ultimate goal. But because I'm doing everything myself right now until that changes, because I plan to bring in people, because support is sexy. But for right now, I'm doing a lot of the things myself, from beginning with booking to end of the podcast. So when things get canceled, all this to say, things get pushed back. But I am committed to doing the podcast 5 days a week. It's what I promise, and it's what I love to do now, and I truly enjoy it, even at 3:30 in the morning. But it's because, going back to what I said in the beginning, the opportunity to connect with you all and appreciate you being here and to get feedback from you. Now, this is another example of a small win. There are times, at least in my new experience of doing the podcast, where you just feel like, even though I can look at obviously the statistics and analytics of who's listening and where, but you have moments where you're like, is anybody listening? Does this even make sense? Is anybody paying attention? Am I providing valuable information? Is there any point in doing this other than serving my own ego, which is not the space that I'm doing it from? But, you have those moments where you wonder, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? You might be going through this with whatever project you're working on. I know I have some friends, Jessica, for example, someone that I talk to often now since we did the interview. She's up late at night, often working on her beautiful shoes. And Victoria, someone else I talked to, she was up late tonight giving me feedback on the website that I shared with our mastermind group, and several other women that I talk to constantly on text message. Ty Beauchamp, who's another person I interviewed and a good friend. I emailed her or sent her a text message earlier today, and we were going back and forth just expressing our love and support for each other. So there are women there who are doing great things and we're supporting each other, but there are still those moments you may be like, what is going on? Why am I doing this? I'm here by myself at 3:30 in the morning speaking into a microphone. But small win, you're still getting it accomplished. You're there, you're in the game. You can do it. Remember to celebrate yourself. In fact, if you can, stop right now and write down or put it in your phone. Writing it down is always better, but put it in your phone. Somehow put it in a way that you could see it visually in front of you. What are you celebrating about yourself today? It could be something you accomplished in your business. It could be something else you did. Small wins lead to major progress. A lot of us, let me speak for myself. I am one of those people who is always looking for the big win or the big result, not the big accomplishment, but the big result. I did this, I can check this off the list. A lot of things, especially in business, just don't work that way. It is about the small wins along the way. You completed whatever document you needed to do. You finally sent that email that you needed to send. You finished that flyer you created. You finally booked that television show. You finally booked that client. You finally went and got your nails done that you haven't done in months. Whatever it is, small wins along the way is what I want us all, myself included, to remember. A win for me tonight, recording this podcast. A win for me just a few moments before I started recording. Finishing the website for chicrebellionmedia.com, CHIC, rebellionmedia.com. Please check it out and let me know what you think. Another win for me, if you're listening to this podcast and getting, I hope, some sort of inspiration from it. I hope you're nodding your head that you either agree, understand, relate, or know somebody that is going through what I'm talking about. Either way, you're listening, connecting, and that is why another small win. Actually, that was a big win. I am so glad to have you here. So if I'm rambling, forgive me, the wee hours of the morning, but I really wanted to record this for you all. You will have it tomorrow or today, being Thursday. And I really appreciate you all for listening. As I always say, it would not be the same without you. Keep doing what you're doing. Celebrate the small wins. Write it out today. Write one every day. That's the challenge. Every day for the next week, Thursday to Thursday, write what you're celebrating. And in fact, you can email me and tell me what you're celebrating about yourself today. Elayne at ElayneFluker.com. So ELAYNE at ELAYNEF as in Frank, LUKER.com. And tell me what you're celebrating, or leave a comment on the site, whatever you want to do. But what's most important is you do it for yourself. Because like I said, we can get down, we can get caught up in the mire of all the things that we're trying to create, where we forget to look at the victories along the way, which are really the motivation for us, because there will be plenty around us that is not going right. In fact, Tony Robbins says, and I'm paraphrasing, that what's wrong is always available, but so is what's right. What's right is always available as well. But most of us always look at what's wrong, what's not working. I know for me, that's the thing I focus on. And most of us do, not because we're necessarily negative, but because we think that's the thing that I need to fix. But what's going right now? What's good right now, even if it's not necessarily in your business, even if you're broke, even if you don't know how you're going to make it, even if you don't know if it makes sense or if anybody's listening or if anybody likes it, what is going right now? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have your health? Do you have a device that you can listen to this on? You must have a computer, a phone, or something. Do you have friends there who support you, a network, somebody to lift you up? There are things in your life that are going right. If there aren't things that are going right, you need to look harder for those things. I guarantee you there's something in your life that is going right now. You're here in this world existing. You have another day to get it right. Not to get too preachy, but that sounds pretty right to me. So thank you guys so much for listening as always. I hope this moves you in some way. More great interviews to come. And until then, go out there and create something sexy. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care.